Howdy. Now, some people, even in my immediate family, have said, "Do you dislike women?" And I say, no, of course not. All my people I've slept with and had sex with have been women, and I've had great relationships with females anyway. But there seems to be a lot of myths floating around about females, and that isn't an accident. And when a young man or an inexperienced man meets a female, he's completely ill-equipped because he has no idea what her nature really is. And that's because he's basically been lied to from he was a young boy, and the media's lied and it's all been twisted to try and portray the woman as this great, righteous person that's so good, when in fact they're just human like everybody else. And we all have their flaws and negative and positive traits. And this site is just to help those young men and inexperienced men to be a bit more aware of the real truth about the female nature. Because if the person doesn't have all the knowledge, they could be in danger. And of course that's the whole idea, and could lose everything financially and emotionally. So I'm going to do a kind of a survey, and this is just my experience, by the way, of modern Western women and European women. This doesn't include the Asian women. They're a little different ballgame. And I'll put a link below to this site where it tells you the positive and negative traits, and you can sort of play as well and see what you come up with. Now I've picked some traits all randomly, and we're just going to see how the females fare on my personal sort of scale. And of course they're not all like this. Everybody's opinion will differ on this one. This is just mine. So here we go. Loyal and trustworthy. I put these two together, and in my experience, no. If you want something loyal and trustworthy, get yourself a dog. Now, they can be loyal and trustworthy, but are not on a regular basis. So I'm afraid we're going to have to give them a honest. Generally, not really. How much did you spend at the makeup shop? Yeah, okay. Logical. No way. Maybe anti-logical, perhaps. Hey, honey, do you want a game of chess? Independent. Well, of course, they're all empowered now, and I think they run on Tesla or something, don't they? Or something like that. They don't need a man. But if you take a look at the females, they have these orbiters all over the place, and they have people helping them all the time. Mostly men. So those females, I'll say they're independent. Take a closer look, and you will see that really they're not so independent after all. Sweet. Well, yes, this is the sugar, isn't it? And a lot of females can appear sweet and innocent. The only females I've found to be sweet and innocent are the very, very young girls. And we're not talking about the young girls, we're talking about adults here, aren't we? So I'm afraid... Giving. Yes, I think females can be giving. Of course, they will remember what they've given you, and if you don't reciprocate back, they will remind you about it quite a long time down the road, but they will never forget what they've given you. But because I'm sick and tired of the other noise, I'm going to give them, yes, they are giving. Realistic. Not really realistic. You've only got to look at these dating sites that go on and the men they're looking for, and it's completely unrealistic, really, for any man to exist like that. But I do blame the men for this as well, because they help the females stay in Nana Land. They are kind of the buffer between reality and Nana Land, and men help them stay in Nana Land because they're protecting them. But of course it doesn't change the fact that they are unrealistic. Passionate. Oh yes, I think females can be passionate. Some of them can be really passionate, but it's never usually the time you want to be. But nevertheless, they can be passionate, especially if you get a screamer. Far-sighted. Well, we're not talking optometrist here, but in my experience, females don't look to the future too well. They're more interested and focused on the here and now than they are in the future or long term. Loving. Well, they might be if they knew what it was. They want to be loved and be worshipped, but to reciprocate that feeling is a bit alien to them because they don't know what it really is. And it's kind of funny really, because they use the word love all the time, but most of them have no idea what it really means. Vain. Most females are very vain. They have mirrors all over the place. They're constantly looking at themselves. And even if you don't think they're very great, they do. Now, you do get some of these odd females that are quite attractive and not have very much confidence and think they're not very good looking at all. But that is a very rare occasion. Most of them think they're Mrs. Wonderful, don't they? Materialistic. Hey, is this a joke one or what? Yes, females are very materialistic. They're all about show. What they look like, what they're wearing, and so on. I think most men know that females are quite materialistic. In fact, some people have said they're shallow. I didn't say it. Professional. Yes, I have seen a lot of women that can look professional and act professional. But when something happens untoward or something, they can turn it personal very quickly. And that is not professional. They let their emotions rule. But I'm going to give them a nod score here, and I don't know what it means, but here goes. Mean. Yes, I've seen females be very mean. And where everybody can be mean, I've seen females be mean to their own children for no real apparent reason. And for that reason, I'm going to say, yes, they can be mean. Immature. Well, yes, I've seen this many times. Even adult females who act immature, they kind of have a hissy fit. And even the older ladies can do it as well. It could be that they're because they're just emotional, but it comes across as immature to me. So, yeah. Lazy. Oh yes, we all can be lazy, but females sometimes do take the mick. They seem to want to earn the money and they seem to want to get things done, but they don't particularly want to put the effort in to do it. And of course that's where the man comes in. He'll be her laborer for her. And females want to be so independent as they don't need a man. They seem to be a little bit slow on the uptake on that so far. So I'm gonna put, yeah, they're lazy, but I guess we all can be, can't we? Bossy. Yeah, oh yeah, females are bossy. And there is a big difference between giving orders and being bossy. And females are definitely bossy. One guy was telling me he was with a girl that was so damn bossy, she even tried to boss the tropical fish in the tank. I consider that bossy. Moody. I think they can be moody very much, as we all can be, but females are more moodier, especially certain times of the month. And of course it doesn't even have to be that time of the month, but you can chalk it down to their emotional state at the time. So yeah. Deceitful. Hey, is this a joke one or what? Probably the number one trait of a female that I have known is deceitfulness, for sure. They completely lie to you without any flinching at all. And they're not only deceitful to the males, they're deceitful to each other. I suppose you could call it lying, but deceitful sounds somehow better. I'd like to put 2 ticks on this one, but I'm only going to put 1. Controlling. Oh yes, I think all us males know that females are very controlling. I suppose they have to be. If they have to look after the children, they have to control them, I suppose. But they do take it a little bit too far. Too bad they can't control the dogs that they have, so I've noticed. Anyway, oh yeah. Spiteful. Yes, females can be spiteful, very much. We all know the stories about splitting up with a female, or somebody splitting up with a female, and she goes and destroys his car, like smashes the windows, scratches the paintwork, that sort of thing. Yes, but come on, she's upset. No, she's spiteful. Self-centered. Well, you gotta be kidding me, right? Most females are all self-centered. The whole universe revolves around them. Even on their special day, the wedding day, the man doesn't even have to turn up, because it's all about her. Even the marriage is basically all about her. They have to receive this attention all the time. They're all princesses, aren't they? The trouble is, when you get all these females together, there can only be one princess, and that's when trouble starts, isn't it? I think I'll just put a tick on this one. Okay, so there you have it, and ooh, they didn't do too well there, did they? Well, I'm sure a female can come along and explain it all and make it look as out there so best thing since, well, in the whole universe, of course. Not in my book. Anyway, I was going out for a meal tonight, but my female partner just cancelled. God, they're so fickle, aren't they? Fickle, that's another one. I'll be back to you.